All right, my colleague Arun Dhanta is with us this morning to bring us more in terms of context when it comes to these statements from the Union Law Minister. Arun, over the last few weeks, we've watched leader after leader from the BJP come forward and make statements along the same lines as the statement that Meghwal has made. Can you tell our audiences more about Meghwal's statement, how we should interpret it? And then could you also tell us, realistically, when could the BJP within this term introduce any changes? Especially because we know the government's first priority as we speak is going to be the G20. There will possibly be that section of the winter session of Parliament. But then the country will be seeing multiple important elections, like, for example, the one in Madhya Pradesh and in Rajasthan. So when could the BJP actually introduce this?
Well, see, Toya, one thing is clear that UCC is one of the top issues of BJP, and they have been mentioning it in their manifesto for past various decades. So this is something which has been biggest thing for BJP, and they've been planning to actually bring a uniform civil code in the country. Now, this time around, what we are seeing that, multiple statements are coming out from the union ministers, and in fact, law minister himself coming out and saying that UCC is the need of the hour. So that gives us a clear indication that government is planning in this direction, that they want UCC in the country. And therefore, in this regard, we are seeing that the Law Commission of India is also coming out with that notification where they are seeking the suggestions and viewpoints of people and other organizations in regard of the Uniform Civil Code. That is also another indication that how government wants to move forward quickly, to bring UCC in the country. Now, of course, one thing is clear as we are getting these indications that government wants to ensure that they bring UCC before the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, and therefore we are seeing signals coming from some of the BJP ruled states as well. We know in Uttarakhand that as per Pushkar Singh Dhami, the chief minister of the state, that the UCC formula is in its last leg. The commission which they formed in Uttarakhand, they are in their project, their report is in the final stage. So we will perhaps see in coming few months UCC being implemented in Uttarakhand. But as far as the nationwide implementation of UCC is concerned, this is something which is going to be very, very important when BJP is planning to bring that into the parliament, because before 2024 Lok Sabha elections you have a winter session in this year itself, because in this upcoming monsoon session it won't be possible for BJP to bring UCC, but of course they are planning it to bring in the winter session, and therefore we are seeing when Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal saying that UCC is the need of the hour. So we can say that the strategy is being formulated, planning has been made. The only thing which we do not know at this moment,
Arun, the winter session of the Parliament will take place. The winter session of the Parliament will take place around elections, for example, in Rajasthan and in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh. These are states with tribal populations that some critics say a possible UCC could worry because it could infringe on tribal laws. What is the BJP's plan for that?
Well, see, therefore, we are seeing that stepwise, efforts are being taken by BJP. Law Commission is doing its work. Law Commission is coming out and asking people to give their suggestions. Though we heard yesterday All India Muslim Personal Law Board saying that they will not consider UCC in the country. They will not be part of the UCC, or they do not want UCC to be implemented in the country. And when when you ask questions from the government representatives, they are also saying that we'll think that how it can be planned, and therefore all these things will be considered before BJP brings that bill in the parliament. Remember when Triple Talaq bill was passed in parliament, even at that point in time there were various sections who were opposing this, who were against Triple Talaq bill, and then subsequently BJP went ahead and brought it into the parliament, and it was passed, and now you have Triple Talaq law in the country. So now in the same direction BJP thinks that before they actually aggressively come forward and pitch for the UCC. They want all the stakeholders to come on the table, and then accordingly they will decide as to what is the larger thinking, what are the larger chunk of people think about the UCC, then accordingly they will move forward in this direction. But the signals and indications are very clear that BJP wants to bring UCC because this is one of the biggest unfulfilled demand issue for the BJP, which they have been talking about in all of their manifestos over the past many decades.
Arun, thank you. Arun, could I ask you to stay with us? I want to now go over to our legal correspondent, Ananya Bhatnagar, who's also with us on the phone. Ananya, just a few days ago, in about mid-June, the Law Commission, the 22nd Law Commission, asked people across the country, it asked concerned bodies for their views when it came to the UCC. Can you tell us what the steps are after this?
Well, Toya, the Law Commission had in mid-June asked for responses with regards to, and suggestions by individuals, public officials, and also from, religious bodies in order for implementation of a uniform civil code. But at the same point of time, we saw how Advocate Ashwini Upadhyay in the first response actually filed, a response. And now we've seen how the AIMPLB, which is significantly the first, response of a Muslim body which is opposing, in fact, a uniform civil code in the country. But at the same point of time, as Arun was also pointing it out, that, this Law Commission has given out a month's time for the people and for the religious bodies to actually file their responses, following which, when the stipulated time period will get over, in fact, what would happen next would be that, this report would be tabled in the Parliament by the Ministry of Law and Justice, because remember that the Law Commission is studying this whole aspect of Uniform Civil Code on the recommendation of the Ministry of Law and Justice. And post that, what we see is that a debate happens in the Parliament with regards to the implementation or not implementation of, in fact, a Uniform Civil Code. But that will only happen after, in fact, the Law Commission actually finalizes its report. And what would also be very, very interesting, Toya, after all of this takes place is, what is the Law Commission's actual view on this particular issue, and will the Law Commission actually recommend for a Uniform Civil Code to be implemented, or what kind of a safeguard or what kind of directions would the Law Commission be passing? Because we saw how, in fact, the sedition report of the Commission also exploded. There were mixed reactions coming in. So we might see a similar thing happening for, in fact, the Uniform Civil Code as well. But when this goes before the Parliament, when this goes before the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it would be for those supporting, including the Bharatiya Janata Party, who are supporting a Uniform Civil Code in the country. How would they be defending the whole Uniform Civil Code with this particular report of the Law Commission of India, which is being the 22nd Law Commission headed by Justice Rituraj Awasthi, former Chief Justice of the Karnataka High Court?
Okay, thank you for bringing us that context. And thank you, Arun, also for staying with us. Let's move on.